just God and yourself. Whatsoever is born of God. So your father is God. You are not a grandchild, you are a child, because the genealogy is not long, it's a short genealogy. And when you look at God, what is in God is what is in you. Why? Because of his own will begat he us by the word of truth. That word of truth, is the sperma, meaning sperm. Sperm means DNA, meaning the same DNA in God is on your inside. If he cannot fail, I cannot fail. Why? He gave birth to me. I share in his identity. Somebody shout, I hear you. So when a man begins to talk to you about generational curse, it's fraud. He wants to milk your ignorance. It's nothing like that for a believer. Nothing like that for a child of God. You can't be born of God and be suffering from a generational curse from a human lineage. The day you got born again, you disconnected. You are a chosen generation. Kebato kemana. You are brought out of darkness into genealogy changed. Your father died of stroke, you can't die of stroke. What is operating inside you, stroke cannot handle it. Somebody shout, I house eternal life. No generational curse, no ancestral curse. Blessed, Christ hath redeemed us from the curse. Not just redeemed for a moment of time, but redeemed eternally, redeemed forever. Somebody say, but Gideon went and pulled down the altar in his father's house. Gideon was not born again. Gideon lived under an inferior covenant with inferior promises. Gideon is not your model. You are not Gideon. You are a new creation after the image of him that created him. Born after the image of him that created him, not after the image of Gideon. So look away from Gideon unto Jesus, the author and the finisher of faith. Somebody shout, I hear you. Yeah, very important. Ezekiel corrected Moses, because it was Moses who introduced generational curse in Exodus chapter 20. He said, anybody that will worship idols, his iniquity shall be punished unto the third and fourth generation of those who hate God. It was Moses who brought it to be. Exodus chapter 20 is where you ever see the first word generational curse to the third and fourth generation. And under the same Old Testament, because revelation was progressive, when Ezekiel came on the scene, he said, no more shall this proverb be said in Israel. Under the same Old Testament, that thing was rusticated. No more shall, Ezekiel 18, no more shall this proverb be said in Israel, that the fathers ate sour grapes and the children's teeth are set on edge. He said, no, as long as I live, saith God. That's the end of that nonsense. From this day forward, the soul that sinneth, it shall die. Jesus showed up and said, that death, I have tasted it on your behalf. So now the gift of God is eternal life. The law of the Spirit of life has set me free from the law of sin and death. I'm free.
Totally free.
How free?
Totally free.
Free forever. Have you ever asked yourself, the same people that were given that curse in Exodus chapter 20, who didn't even obey God, that curse didn't even happen to them? The children of Israel were told, they were the ones told on their way to promised land, that if they worship other gods, it will be punished in the third and fourth generation. But they were worshiping idols in the wilderness, and their children entered the promised land. Their children entered the promised land. None of their children was left behind. All of them entered. That means that curse was not in effect. I don't know if I'm teaching here. Lift your right hand and shout, no curse, only blessings. I'm swimming in the blessings of righteousness. I have the blessedness of righteousness. My sins are forgiven. I have the blessing on my life. Listen carefully. The born again man is not an improvement on the first Adam. Not at all. The born again man is not a refurbishment of the first Adam. The born again man is not a renovation of the first Adam. That's why Christianity is not about morality. Oh, Adam was morally bankrupt, so now that you're born again, be morally rich. No, it's not about morality, because you can be moral without Christ and you go to hell. So born again is not an upgrading of Adam. So since Adam fell short, let's upgrade him. The born again man is not an upgrade of Adam. It's not an improvement on Adam. It's not an updated Adam. Is it updated or updating? Which one? All of the above. Lift your right hand and shout, I'm not an updated version of Adam. Say, I'm not an improvement on Adam. I am not an improvement of the first Adam. I am not a renovation of the first Adam. I am not a refurbishment of the first Adam. I am not an upgrade of the first Adam. I am not an improvement of the first Adam. In the first Adam, all of us died. So in the second Adam, all are made alive. It is called new life. It is called born from above. The born again man, it has nothing to do with Adam. There's no connection. That's why you can't talk about generational curse. He doesn't know it. In fact, it's a strange vocabulary. He doesn't recognize what is generation. Which generation? I have only one generation. Royal priesthood. Why? Because I came from the family of the King of Kings. I have no generation. Somebody said, but I'm feeling the symptoms. The symptoms that my father felt and my grandfather felt. Let's be real. My grandfather used to have this symptom that will make his eye not see for some time. Then after a while, the eye will see. My father had the same symptom, and my own eye has started having that. Now this is where the so-called deliverance experts take advantage of people. By describing your experiences, they thrive from outside. But the born again man is not an outward man. The born again man is inside out. Igato nanga, jibura nange, libotoroka, jekulatana. So this man says, my grandfather had this sight condition. My father had this sight condition. It has started. My own, after a while, I will go blank. I can't see anything for 5 minutes. Then after some time, it will come back. That's how my father's own started, till he couldn't see for days. Don't you think I need deliverance? No. Why? Satan is a big fool. Because he is a big fool, and he is an ignoramus, ignorant bully. What does he do? He keeps record of your natural family through a spirit called familiar spirit. He keeps data of what happens in your biological home to use it and create similar